It's not an AMA, short recap about the games. This is a play-by-play. No Instagram, these holograms. Boy, these ain't the same. This South Harmon, you know we do things a different way. We got in the room, come join the team, but don't be in the way. Stay tuned, join that Patreon, we do giveaways. Make nutted than ATM, you know they on a different wave. Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, pick a day. This South Harmon, you know that we glad you here today. This not an AMA. This not an AMA. This not an AMA. Short recap about the game. This is the play-by-play.
Yeah, buddy. We're here. Sunday night recap. Week 1 of the fantasy football playoffs. NFL Week 15. Adam, Santa hat. Look at you, man.
Listen, man, sometimes there's gifts delivered early. They're here early, and there's other times where it's not. We got some rough news today, which is nothing to do with football, but
let's talk about it, man. Let's because it is I literally got sick to my stomach reading that. I did not feel good. So for those of you who don't know, nobody died. I know it was kind of a cryptic tweet I put on Twitter. Nobody actually died, but it feels like a part of South Harmon died. Gary sold the school.
The school got sold out from under us, Mike. Damn it.
We knew and love for the last 2 years. Anybody who's been to the South Harmon school, as we like to call it, during Fantasy Football Expo Week, you know how special of a place that was to us, not just for the community. It was just such a dope vibe. We could get everybody under one roof and have plenty of room to have T-Rock cooking his food and have Koopa drinking his wine and have the debauchery that went on in other parts, just have all the fellas together and have such a good time. And to know that we won't ever be able to go back to that place in August, it was pretty gut-wrenching. But lo and behold, we do have a small blessing because, quick pivot, just looking, may have found some place with a pool. And I couldn't think of anything more fun than a bunch of fat, overweight white dudes hanging out in August with a pool, like their own fucking pool.
Absolutely.
Drunk, but
how do you beat that?
This day does suck.
I mean, listen, it's all right. I will admit though, it was a tough text to read, and he even knew. He said, "I'm so sorry." Like, listen, our little school our little 1 week of that school wasn't gonna get in the way of a big transaction, but
for sure, Gary's got.
He thought about us at least after doing it. Speaking of which, this is what it felt like. Honestly, I'll give you a little theme of today. All right, this is what happened. Quick kind of introduction to what we're going to be getting into today and how we felt. It's getting cold out there, buddy. The weather outside is frightful, I have a blue Christmas.
You just had to rub it in my face, didn't you? The Cooper Cup didn't even fucking play.
I'll be honest with you. That was planned.
Thursday.
That was planned well before the Gary text, all right?
Jesus.
That's tough, though. I mean, listen, a 0.
I'm going to go through like 10 lineies tonight just because of you.
A 0 in the fantasy playoffs is just gut-wrenching. Like, that is...
Yeah.
I'm going to survive one. The other ones I'm not going to, where I had Cooper Kupp in the lineup. Like, it's just... Listen, man, you can only do so much,
Yeah,
Wear the hats. It's just rough, dude.
This is also why... Koopa did such a good podcast on it. Grinding the Edge. Check that out on Saturdays. Why we talk about this all the time. Why anybody worth their shit tells you getting a bye week is so goddamn important.
Well, this would be why, right? Like today had some crazy stuff happen. There were so many games. There's actually 2 games still going, which should let you know how crazy today was. But Mike, let's go ahead then. And I think of the first person game pivot I could think of is just listen, if you did have though Mike Evans
it's much maligned.
in the South Harmon beat South Harmon League, man, did it feel good? It felt good. It felt like Christmas,
Yeah, except for he didn't get us into the playoffs, man. We needed him to do this, a few weeks ago.
Listen, Mike Evans, if you didn't get into Mike Evans versus Cooper Kupp, it's the same picture. The reality is You're in the 6 seed, the 3 seed, the 4 seed, the 5 seed. Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp. That's going to be a big difference.
Hey, we got to shout out to two people. Skeletor and Barry are the ones who took that down, moved on to the tournament round.
They did. They got first and second place. Yeah. We're already out, buddy. Cooper Kupp wasn't going to save us from making it anyway. Like we're
cooked.
Our quarterbacks were, even if we were alive, Mike, we had 0 of them. A 0 burger.
Literally.
Listen, McMillan is, I don't know, I guess. Mike, here's what I like to put it, though. Today, we're going to get some of these. This is, in my estimation, it's a gift.
Can we thank us for McMillan?
Sure.
For those of you who don't, the trade show came out yesterday. Adam and I recorded it on Wednesday before the AMA. And there was a deal in there where we're like, I didn't like this piece that you got back. Like, I would try to go for something like this guy had Jalen McMillan on his team. Like, we shouted him out on the trade show. Like, what if he has another week, kind of like he did last week, where it was like, okay, like we get a little bit of hype, something of true value building. Alas, Jalen McMillan does it again. And also got a terrible, penalty. But that's fine. He'll be okay. He'll be okay.
They put up 40 today on the Chargers defense, Mike.
Fucking
on the road. What?
Yeah, I had the Chargers -3. Whoops.
Buddy.
Whoops.
Dude, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't this guy right here. Mike, quickly, the next game you'll see here. We won't touch much on the Chargers. Ladd did play and, deserves a hologram, which I don't have any Chargers queued up because we have – the way Mike and I go, if I put up every team with no buys, we will never make it out of this place alive, including us. So we're going to focus on the Bucs today. 40 points, Mike. Everybody eats, B. Everybody motherfucking eats,
Rashad White had a game. Bucky Irving, welcome back, had a game.
I mean, listen,
Mayfield went off. The only thing that didn't really eat is this thing called Kate Otten.
The abominable snowman, if you will,
a tight end with no gloves.
No gloves.
It's never a tight end you actually want.
Actually, Brady, who's broadcasting now, I guess you call it that, is he mentioned on when they were playing the Bucs, like, I used to always bother me. He wouldn't put gloves on. Like, literally the GOAT at football is telling you put gloves on, you still won't? Come on.
Nah, you can't trust him. No, Bucs went off today. If you own Buccaneers, other than Kate Otten in fantasy, you're having a good week. You're having a pretty good start to your playoffs.
Well, let's get off of this game. This was listen. We got the bad out of the way, Mike. Here's the good. Okay, we got the lump of coal for you, but now. Huh?
Oh, no. Man.
Oh, no. Jameis.
It's kind of like we have said all along. He's fun, except for when he's not fun.
Did you see that? Let me just – if you didn't get a chance to see that, I want you to have a good chance at this.
Dude. What are you doing to Jameis, baby?
Rough. Real rough. He stinks. Honestly, we got DTR in there, buddy, versus the Chiefs today. Really rough. Really rough.
Who also threw an interception. We didn't have enough.
Listen, they didn't want to go to DTR. They kind of told you today they didn't want to go to DTR. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody in this offense is dead except for Judy, apparently, by the way.
Hey, at least Judy still kept it going, man. He's over 1,000, too. Jerry Judy.
Having a career year. Who would have known? Who would have known?
He's on that Davante Parker, 5th-year breakout train. Let's rock.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Like Davante Parker, you should probably sell him for a first in the offseason.
What about Njoku letting people down? He deserved to have an icicle too, but only so much time,
I mean, he can't save us forever. Hamstrings are going to be hamstrings. He probably knew.
The A-Warp tight end life, though, the best part, Mike, the A-Warp tight end life today, listen, there's not enough elves to make all the holograms today. All the A-Warp tight ends that just showed up this week. Just insane.
Just one hologram. We need a dedicated
A-Warp. An A-Warp tight end one? Actually, that is something that we should do and can do.
Can it just be Josh Wiley?
It can be that. I mean, Mike, it can be the laundry list today. If they were Brenton Strange, I mean, come on,
yes.
Mike.
Yes.
I don't have them all. I'm sorry. Okay, you can be mad at me. I do apologize. But here, I have something for you. I come bearing gifts. Xavier Worthy.
He did something today, huh? 6 for 46.
We're going to have some gifts today where it's like, listen, at this point, not really reliable options, I'll call them, right? However, lineup or best ball, if you put him in your lineup, that's probably egregious in the playoffs. But if you did, he paid off. And if in best ball, I mean, these are the type of weeks that can actually win you something, when guys go for 20-something.
At least Patrick Mahomes gave you like a QB1-ish week before he's about to leave you for the next couple.
Yeah, well.
Sure. I don't feel very optimistic about it. When they come out, they say week to week. I know he's a tough son of a bitch, and he always plays through ankles, and he's had an ankle, but they've won enough games where they don't have to play him these next couple weeks if they don't want to. They're going to handily win the division.
Yeah.
Do you think they really push it for this 1 seed? Like, really push it?
I mean, listen, this Bills game winning in Detroit like they did, scoring. We're going to get to that, by the way. But that does make it a little more interesting. Bills had the tiebreaker, right?
Yep, because they beat them.
So
loss.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe you get an extra week, but Mike, I don't. It's already. They just coasted today. I mean, Jameis gave them the game. They don't have to do anything.
I mean, the next 3 games aren't layups. Texans, Steelers, Broncos. I mean.
By the way, just for the people out there, Kareem Hunt ended up having the same amount of carries as Pacheco. However, I just wanted to let you know that they put DTR in for the Browns, and this game was out of hand. Okay, so just.
I think the Patrick Mahomes for the next couple of weeks scares the shit, especially as a guy who
owns
a few shares on playoff teams.
What do you do? Are you going to trade Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs? Because that's the question people are going to ask.
Thankfully for one of my teams, I do still have my first-round pick. There is no trade deadline. I had to buy, didn't need them. I think I'll be exploring, what that first and Patrick Mahomes can get me for another quarterback.
I mean, a first and Mahomes, shit. I remember the days when Mahomes got you a quarterback in a first. But listen, you come to the party wearing no pants. I mean, hell, you never know, right?
Fuck around, find out.
I mean, what do you think of Pacheco
I'm not
here?
going to go down.
Pacheco 13 for 32 on a day where they're leading the whole game stinks.
It does stink. Stinks. He's working his way back. You like to see the snap share keep coming up, but it is what it is. Without Patrick Mahomes, say it isn't next week. I'm not saying it's official. I'm just saying I don't feel too confident right off the rip.
Yeah, right.
If they don't have Mahomes safe for next week, he's going to get a shit ton of work because they don't have a choice.
Well, speaking of gifts, Rodgers basically was 50% completion on the day. However, they were given a gift of playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And
Jesus Christ.
Can I tell you what I'm a little upset about, Mike? Like, this guy gets a taste. I don't even know that I call it winning, but they beat the Jaguars barely. And I don't know if you saw after the game, they're like, he's really hugging Peterson and all this stuff. And it's like,
oh, my God.
Stop it.
Stop it. You're trash.
However, the gift of Aaron Rodgers today was legit. I mean, 3 touchdowns.
For anybody who snuck in the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers as one of your super flex quarterbacks that started them, you're like, fuck yeah, it's what I needed.
If he was one of your only weak spots, it definitely can happen. I saw some teams in the playoffs with him in there. Huge bonus. But you want to talk about huge? You want to talk about bonkers, Mike? We got something new.
He's on fire!
The whole fucking thing's on fire, buddy.
He is on fire.
Davante Adams.
Man mode.
This is what we call force feeding. Like an infant. Force feeding the ball to Davante Adams. 9 catches, $198, 2 touchdowns. Buddy, Davante Adams. I mean, absolutely. Literally, if you have him in the semis this week, you are going to have to put up something on the other end that's so astronomical, it's ridiculous. He went off.
Quarters. Semis next week.
Sorry. The quarters. You're correct.
You good, though. He went nuts. And I was trying to work out a deal with our good Canadian friend, Liebert, Mr. Canada himself.
Why would you do that? Oh, yeah. Adams was like, listen, that's a blackout for your opponent.
Burnt up the screen. And I was trying to get Davante Adams off him, but he was really trying to fuck me hard. So I said no. lo and behold, whatever price I would have paid wouldn't have mattered. Like, it would have been worth it.
Listen, I put Brees on the screen, Mike. He got a touchdown, but the leading rusher of the Jets today was Aaron Rodgers.
That's not a good sign. That's not a
Braylon Allen. I remember Braylon. I mean, listen, I get shit wrong, okay? Let me just put that out there first. But when you guys are trying to tell me Braylon Allen's a fucking top 15 running back in Dynasty, oh my God.
That didn't work out so well.
I just want to remind people that there was just last week for your Braylon Allen truthers out there, okay? Here's a reminder of last week. You had a blow up. It was not Braylon when Brees didn't play.
Isaiah fucking Davis. No, outside of Aaron Rodgers, surprisingly being good, not with a completion percentage, but just knowing to throw the ball to Davante Adams. Davante Adams having a game. Garrett Wilson got in the end zone for a touchdown. Brees Hall lucked into one. Jets did all right.
Yeah, no question.
Unless it was on the basis of stopping one, Brian Thomas.
Well, let's go ahead and just let's just get there, right? I mean, let's go ahead and get to the Jags. Listen, the guy deserves the fire quote, but I got you an old hologram, so that's going to just do. And listen, he's been we got a down 15.
Down 15.
Jacoby
Myers, Jaden Reed. The answer is very clearly Jaden Reed.
Well, yeah.
You're down 15, man. Jacoby Myers, like a good game for him is like 12.
Full PPR, he gets 15 though.
You think?
I mean, full PPR. Go to his game logs. Full PPR 15, I think is reasonable.
I feel like he hadn't done shit. I want to see how many times he's.
Oh, dude, you're tripping. Myers has actually been doing well. The problem is what, Mike? What's the bigger problem?
Desmond Ritter's the quarterback.
Yeah, that's Myers' game logs are actually going to be looking very rosy. Jacoby Myers shares that you thought expired last year. No. They're good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 games this year. He's gone over 15.
Like that. This is honestly a question where if it's not Desmond Ridder, I'm easy Myers. Problem is, it is Desmond Ridder.
You're not wrong. His last 3 games, 15 targets, 11 targets, 10 targets, and fucking PPR. That's a machine. But is Desmond Ridder competent enough to just no throw the ball to Jacoby Myers?
I think so. Jaden Reed's coming off a 0, Mike. Actual 0. So you're telling me there's a chance.
He's due.
15 is tough. I think I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to roll out Myers, just because with Reed, dude, Jordan Love and this whole offense hasn't been. I don't want any of these receivers right now. You know,
man, I'm going to help you out, Tyler, by not helping you at all. I'm going Reed still.
I mean, I'm rolling with the hot hand, and all the fire is going to be a Jacoby Myers. That's my personal opinion, but this is tough, man. This is tough being down 15 because it's Desmond Ridder. I think there's a 60-40. I would lean Myers here, but if you want to go, Reed is the upside play. It's just I don't know what's the upside, honestly.
What is the upside?
The upside of the Jaguars as its whole, Mike, Brian Thomas. Like, this game for the Jags, realistically, outside of that, was Brenton Strange, who, listen, there's a lot of holograms that didn't get made today. That he will be one of them. 11 catches. 11 catches.
He's like, who? Evan who? We don't need Evan Ingram. I got this.
That's strange. That's strange guy, Evan Ingram. Get him out of here.
Nope.
Honestly, that was the role like last year Evan Ingram had, was just like get a bunch of fucking catches. Just here, get the ball out. This game was terrible.
Do you remember when Brian Thomas Jr. in the pre-draft process could only run streaks and comebacks?
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all he could do.
That's all he could do. I will say, Mike, I sat him in a league, and we'll get away with it. And early, I was like, well, you know what happened? I had Cooper Kupp in the lineup, and I'm like, fuck, who do I play now between him and Nico?
Oh.
I had him and Nico, 2 wide receivers, and I'm like, geez, this is rough. So Nico had a good day, but I got away with it because in that league, the other person had Tua and Jameis in a heavy negative quarterbacks. Both went negative.
So let's talk quickly about Brian Thomas Jr.
Sure.
We know fantasy playoff times get the magnifier on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're having rookie conversations about rookie wide receiver ranks from this class and how they're going to go be perceived for next year, you just had a guy in round one of the playoffs just fucking help carry your team.
Yep.
How high is it going to be? 2? 3?
In rookies ranks?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You tell me, Marv. You're a big Marv guy.
I'm still a Marv guy.
All right. So is he 3?
3. I'm sorry, Rome. Rome's still got a chance, though. Maybe
I'm not putting Rome out of the conversation. I got 3A, 3B. If you want to go BTJ right now because of the value, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with any 4 of those receivers, though. Honestly, I just want to put that out there. BTJ is absolutely balling, and this is multiple weeks with great weeks when the odds are stacked against you with Mac.
Yes. And Mac Jones still better than Jameis Winston.
Well, this has been the gift that continues to give. 1, Chase Brown, buddy. I mean, this top 5 lock at this point, it feels.
He looks good.
Dude, it's ridiculous. He's starting to get to the point of getting off on people. Consistently.
Getting off.
No pause, just straight up. Ending hopes and dreams for Christmas.
Those takes about he could be replaced next year. That's why I don't feel the greatest about Chase Brown. Fuck it, man. Just enjoy it while you got it. Let's go, Chase Brown. Top 5 fantasy RB during the playoffs. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, and then the crazy Chase and Chase. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this Chase, but I don't. It's just kind of what we come to expect at this point. I don't know. What do you think?
That solid, consistent. You're only got me 18.
That's the crazy part. Is if people are flaccid because 9 for 94.
Mm-hmm.
T. Higgins gets in the end zone. I mean, right?
Because T. Higgins is also one of the best wide receivers in football.
I mean, I will say the list of the best wide receivers in football is beginning to get to the point where I don't know if we call them all best because there's a lot of these guys. But he's playing out of control. I mean, he's playing
next year when he goes for 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns with Drake May.
I like T quite a bit. It's just at a certain point, where is the line drawn? I don't know. How many best do we have? Because BTJ keeps balling. There's so many guys balling right now.
That's why I just say one of the best.
Yeah.
So you could just make it very vague. Very long.
Well, it is very vague. That's okay. I'm not going to put your feet to the fire. Joe Burrow, let's be clear, should have a fire and a blow-up hologram, but I just can't do it with this guy. I just give him this. This is the hologram he gets for the rest of the year, okay? This one right here.
Yeah.
Slim Shady, though, Mike, is cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Let the man cook.
Crazy thing.
Okay.
Relative to everybody else because of those 2 interceptions he threw. And he didn't go over 300 yards. He did enough to beat up on the Titans, got the win, but the turnovers kind of killed him. Fantasy-wise, he's going to finish just ahead of what was a very pedestrian Patrick Mahomes.
Sure.
Kind of wild.
Well, I mean, is it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, because fucking Mason Rudolph's right there, too.
Well, Mike, come on. You steal the narratives before I even get there. Come on, damn it. Well, first of all, I before we talk about the red-nosed reindeer, I want to talk about, unfortunately, I think we have to have the conversation. Remember we were talking about will Levis
get another year?
Hold on to the job?
No. Jesus.
For next year. We said for next year.
He was doing so good, too. He was doing so good. He was.
He was.
The last couple weeks, he was solid.
He was doing well for fantasy, relatively.
Yes.
He was. I think he was still kind of Mayo out there. He still had he still never corrected the turnovers all the way, and then today happened, and
he was back to shit again.
Buddy, listen.
He went full Jameis. You never go full Jameis.
Well, buddy, I mean, all of a sudden, Let's talk about it, man. This guy, the real deal.
No.
The real deal. No, dude, this was the gift of all gifts today. He doesn't start. Imagine in best ball, Mike. You have him carrying him is like the wrong process, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get a top 12 quarterback gifted. That is the Mike. I'm sorry. This is the gift of all gifts today. Are you kidding me?
I need another beer.
Buddy, he's a top 10, top 12 quarterback, depending on 6-point or 4-point passing touchdowns. Mid-game insert. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, are you kidding me? How does that happen?
I don't know. It's terrible.
By the way, Tony Pollard, Mike, scored a touchdown early, right? And then that was completely and utterly it.
Yeah. He really didn't get anything else going in. Tyjae Spears?
Well,
Adam? You know, all three people who are big Tyjae fans in this chat, they're rolling.
There you go, buddy. A gift again. The Titans were bearing gifts today, buddy.
They were.
They eliminated a Will Levis, and Tyjae has a day. Pollard got you in the end zone. If you started him, it's not like it could have been worse, believe it or not. We'll get to some worse. What the hell, Mike? This team? What is this team? 3-11.
Who the fuck was in the playoffs in round one and started Tyjae Spears? Now,
Nobody.
I get best balls.
Nobody. Best ball, I think probably people did. There's no way anyone in the playoffs is starting Tyjae Spears. If you are, let me know. Give me the receipts. I'm not even mad at you. Like, good for you.
Mad either.
Good for you.
Balls. Big old balls.
I mean,
pay off. Top
I just think you literally don't have any options. There's got to be waiver wire options. Sincere McCormick, I mean, he hasn't even played yet. Something.
No buys. You had a lot of people coming back from injury, healthy, that you had choices to play. Tyjae fucking Spears, RB3.
Let's pivot, though. Let's get out of that game because besmirching the name just recently, it felt like, of keeping this guy out of his own tier. This needed to happen for you. Like, this guy, can you put this guy in his own tier, please?
No. Brian Thomas Jr. just happened. What do you want from me?
Brian Thomas Jr. is not in the Malik Neighbors tier. He's doing damn high. And you also wouldn't put him above Marv. So don't pivot from the Marv conversation here.
I still believe in you, Marv.
That's fine. You can believe in Marv, but see, believing and seeing are different things, Mike. And especially this time of year, believing and seeing are different things, you know?
Right.
This guy has been excellent in warp, even when he's having the mid games, if you look at it overall. And this is with Andrew Thomas getting hurt. This is with, whatever turd quarterback. This is versus the Ravens defense. Ravens fan Jack Settleman on record, sit Malik everywhere. The Ravens defense is elite. So who gives a shit? No one can stop him. I mean, it didn't matter. The Ravens destroyed them. Lamar is him, but Malik Neighbors was the one piece of the Giants offense that continues to deliver. 14. I mean, they just force feed him, no matter who's in there. Tommy, Drew, Danny, don't matter. Just throw it to 1. This is 9, by the way. Tim Boyle. Yep. Do we care about any other Giants though before we get to
nope.
hymns?
This Singletary Tracy split got ugly quick. Pissed you off.
Really did.
That was fun for a while, and now
it's kind of not fun right now, you know?
And it's very depressing.
Well, because, the thing is, this was the guy that was at least exciting to a degree. I mean, Singletary just in this offense of complete woat. Let's talk about possibly heavily back in the conversation, Lamar. I mean,
after that game, I think even the announcer said it, Josh Allen's a lot of people's runaway MVP. Lamar's putting his name right back on the map, and we'll get to what happened in the Detroit-Buffalo game. But yes, Lamar was like, don't forget about me. How about 5 touchdowns, no picks? I think I also saw the stat down there of games with 5 touchdowns and no picks. Lamar's third all-time in the entire history of the league.
Correct. But
not bad for a running back.
Well, speaking of running backs, listen, I don't want to – Lamar deserves a big segment. This guy is playing incredibly well. I mean, this is a layup of a game, though, but he delivered. He has been delivering. His passing has improved year in and year out. He's a real quarterback, despite the running back tag. Speaking of running back tag, Mike, this guy was the actual running back right here. Derrick Henry, huh? I mean, this guy, 100 yards is the line. 100.5 they set in Vegas. Guy gives you 6 points versus the dog shit Giants, man.
Lucky for most of us who have Derrick Henry. I imagine we're sitting here watching it going like, well, hopefully he shows up next week for me when I need him.
I think, here's the thing about it, and the reason I actually went to that, I felt strong enough to do it. Unbelievable start, right? Early. But it's gotten more mid lately. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not been the elite Derrick Henry that's put you over the top.
Kind of slowed down a little bit, hadn't he?
I don't think he necessarily was like Saquon locking you up as many buys. I'm not saying that he didn't lock some teams and buys and help better built teams. But I just don't think him on his own got people buys. And then today, if you were in the game of needing him finally, it's like, all right, you're in the smash spot at least this week. You see what their schedule is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 6 out of them. Like, they get 35 points, Mike. You're like, come on. No way. How does this happen? Dude. Bad luck. Bad luck.
I guess the only thing like you could really look forward to is I think Derrick Henry has at least one more year kind of like this in him. Like,
yeah, I do.
Pretty surprisingly, being kind of an elite running back, especially with this team.
Mm-hmm.
So, if this is the trend that continues through the fantasy playoffs, Adam, you know that's going to push his ADP down in startups next year. For all those like contenders that you want to buy, right back to that 9th, 10th round, baby. Right back to where he's easily obtainable. He's like, I don't need to draft running backs. Fuck this. I'll just get Derrick Henry late because he's old. Look what he did in the playoffs. He really slowed down.
Look what he did, you know? I mean, yeah. Well, let me tell you, speaking of gifts today, buddy, listen, I'm tried to make as many as I could. This guy here is not even the right size, apparently. We got to make him the correct size one here. Jalen Coker. Huh?
Yeah.
Jalen Coker. What? 20 points? 20 points?
He did.
Dude, I actually saw, believe it or not, I saw him in a couple lineup leagues. Like start 11, really? Start 12. Yeah, start 11, start 12 joints. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Score for them.
I mean, I don't know. I guess you're looking at the matchup thinking that they're not going to get dominated, or I don't know, maybe you are. That Cowboys defense looked, Fizz, what's up, man? It looked like the old Cowboys D a little bit with all those turnovers on Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce really struggled. Kind of like Will Levis.
And honestly, his wasn't quite as bad as Levis as far as getting pulled. That's the only difference, right? Now, he did actually score points relative, unless you had like heavy negatives, and he couldn't save you, couldn't do shit for you. But the whole team kind of let down. Chuba, you're thinking,
nope.
Like, okay, this is the Chuba game.
Nope.
10 for 32. I don't have a ice hologram, so we're just going to leave it as
he was an intriguing matchup, but Dallas with Michael Parsons back has been playing some really good defense. Good defense.
You know what's crazy is, especially watching. So I think Hunt and Moton on that right side is actually like a really, really nice right tackle, right guard combo. And they did a good job on him at times, but also there was times where it's like, there is nothing you can do with 11. That dude is just freakish.
Got a motor.
He's freakish, yeah. Yeah.
He is a freak. He's going to look real good in Kelly Green, when he's tired of losing in Dallas.
Rico Dowdle, though, did deliver with 25 carries, 149 on the ground. Listen, Cooper Rush, I don't have a hologram. Sorry, Fizz. I won't make one. I refuse. I'll make a lot of these guys. I'll make a Brenton Strange before I'm making a Cooper Rush, okay?
Cooper Rush? QB1 on the week.
Cooper Rush is a QB1 on the week. You know what's crazy about Cooper Rush? This feels like it's certainly put – Trey Lance can't get on the field. We're watching every quarterback and his mother get on the field. Trey Lance can't get on the field, Mike.
Yep, I'm pretty sure all those Trey Lance shares that I've been holding on to forever, because you're like, yeah, it's got to happen, right? I'm just going to cut them in the offseason roster spot.
I need to cut a couple of them possibly off of teams that are sitting on a bye or I get through this week. Like
we're good.
It's
over.
It's honestly crazy to see that Trey Lance, after being drafted that high, is literally not going to get a chance to play 2 seasons later. Two full seasons just sits. Cooper
What
Rush
do you
out
get?
there.
He got like a game and a half in his entire career.
Yeah, the rain game versus Fields, they lost versus the Bears. And the next game, he was like, middle of the second quarter, I believe.
Done.
Sayonara.
Out.
Crazy. CeeDee Lamb balled. Obviously, if Cooper Rush is balling, CeeDee's going to ball. It was crazy, though. As great as this was, like it still kind of showed that even when Cooper Rush has 3 touchdowns, CeeDee Lamb's still kind of neutered from being one of those, like, absolute bonanza games. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because he's got to do so much on his own.
Like a Davante Adams game today. Like, that's just not in the cards with Cooper Rush.
Nope. He's more back-end wide receiver 1 than he is wide receiver 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's rough.
It's rough. It is. All right, Mike. I got some good things for you here, believe it or not.
All right. Less shitty one.
Let's start with...
He's on fire!
J-Day. J-Day.
I was going to go with the Jade jersey, but I've worn it so many times this year. People are probably tired of seeing me in the fucker. So we went with the winner of the Battle of Pennsylvania. All right? My Eagles.
Hard-fought game, but didn't finish even that close.
Nope. Not that bad. Jaden Daniels. Feeding families.
Sure is.
Feeding families. You got this from what was some people's 104, 105 in your rookie draft.
Yep. 105 was some people's. That's probably like the stretch. I pretty much saw him go 104 in everyone that I was at the minimum if he made it there. 103 to 105 felt like pretty locked in unless you were like Mike, took him 101 or 102 as a believer, right? And
it was hot takey to take him 101.
The blackout, Mike, is what happens if you played against J-Day today. Because, listen, I'll tell you this is the thing about it, man. The stack, too, because you called this, and it feels like the moment that you called this, it was just like a double down on the same take.
He's on fire!
But Terry's also on fire. Terry had a great game, and he's on fire, but it felt like there was about 3 or 4 times where this was almost a Davante Adams game.
They almost had a 60-yard touchdown that was just underthrown just enough, and the DB was able to get away with pass interference and break it up.
There was literally like that, as well as 2 other plays, deep shots. You're like, oh my gosh, this could have been a 40-pointer. Like, it was a 20. What, he finished 26, 28?
It could have been the Adams game.
Could have been a Davante Adams style game.
J-Day could have been in the 40-burger too. Oh, he's back to running, man. Since that rim injury is really healed too, he's getting back to his 50, 60 yards on the ground, which just makes his floor so ridiculously high. If he doesn't turn the football over and throws for a couple hundred yards and tosses a few touchdowns to Terry, QB1 on the week. I mean, this is just printing money. Cash.
Yep. Dude, honestly, like, this is what happens. If you played these 2 guys today, they kind of ended your hopes and dreams. I mean, honestly, it's just what it feels like. There's nothing else to talk about for the Commanders. I know they did have De'Ami Brown kind of continued to make plays, but I don't think it really translated to much anyway. And they're doo-doo Browns, The rest of this team just doesn't really need much talking, in my estimation. But we could talk about B-Rob if you want. I don't know. Everything was pretty just rough.
Nope.
Okay.
And on the Saints side, it went about as bad as we thought. Alvin Kamara salvaged a pretty decent week, and now it looks like he's hurt. So
yeah,
fuck
just to really kick you in the nuts, Jake Haener throws him a nice ball. He made a nice catch. Okay, he barely made it, one-handed, going out of bounds, made it, and we're good night. It's over with. That's all she wrote. All she wrote, dude. What? Kamara was feeling so good this year. The whole time you're like, oh, this is going to be a crusty winner for you.
He didn't even throw him the ball. Wasn't it Cedric Wilson who threw him that pass?
Actually, my mistake. You're correct. It wasn't from Jake Haener. How could I have forgotten? You're 100% right.
Well, I mean, their quarterback situation is so shitty. You don't.
To be fair, I think what happened was that pass looked like it was coming from a quarterback more so than it did from Jake Haener.
Haener got his ass benched. Spencer Rattler came in, made the game close.
I think Rattler finished with more than Haener did, points-wise, too.
They did. Crazy. They did. Rattler won for 135 and a touchdown. Didn't turn the ball over either. He played well.
Yeah, nothing else on this team. I mean, Juwan Johnson had a chance to catch a game winner.
And didn't happen.
Yeah.
Game winner, 2-point conversion. Didn't they?
Yeah. Commanders 2019. My favorite part was seeing Cheese Sticks in the chat. Just listen, buddy, keep it up, man. You got a gift, I think. You know, you have a gift, Joey, my friend, finding a way to just thread the needle on these things. Like, damn it, you know, some things are still joyous today, Mike, despite the school news. You know,
despite that's sad. Still,
aside from the damage to the boat, which we will fix. Nico Collins today, Mike.
Oh, this offense today. Just not good.
Well, I mean, can we at least talk? We start with Nico, right? I mean,
2 touchdowns.
2 of them things, baby. I felt like there's no way I was going to put BJ in front of Nico, and I'm just confident. Like, I'm rolling Nico. I'm not getting too cute here, you know?
Okay.
It's Mac Jones.
Right.
And then guess what happens? 2 touchdowns later, I'm still like, holy crap. He running circles around Nico, you know? Damn it. Why'd I have to go showing off like that?
This offense was pretty rough today.
Dude,
man.
the whole 12-20. This game I was actually thinking was going to be a really fun one to watch. And
shootout.
It just was not.
We're going to get a lot of fantasy points out of this one. Bet the overs.
Well, and then you had Mixon coming up limp, and that was scary. He did come back, so
you want to talk about Henry disappointing.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, those shatter holograms take a lot of time. We only could make like 5. But dude, there was some disappointments. Most of this game was disappointing, frankly. You could just put all these guys on there. What's
Nico Collins with his 2 touchdowns was not disappointing.
He wasn't he like the lone player in this game? I guess Jonnu keeps doing Jonnu.
Smith.
Jonnu keeps doing
Jonnu
Jonnu
Smith,
things.
the A-Warp tight end legend.
Yeah. Damn it. You know what?
Families.
You know what's crazy is we'll give it to him, you know? Whether you like to or not.
He deserves it. Tight end
9 catches for 48 yards. Like, normally the Jonnu thing is like he'll give you like 4 catches and one will be like a crazy long one. Jonnu's out here, PPR machine. I'll tell you the other thing that really was bad was seeing Jalen Waddle kind of get rolled up on. That didn't look good. And then 0. Yeah, it's not great. Devon A-Chain also, I mean, Mike, again,
14.
He's another one that's deserves an icicle, but all we have is a fire under for him, and that needs to go away.
14 is not the worst. All right, it's not the worst score.
Because it's just insane. The crazy part about him, his floor is so safe because he's going to get 7 catches for 35 yards. Like,
it's fucking stupid.
But let's just talk about it for the Miami side. Tua, this guy is just he's putting his head down. He's putting his head down, bro. Like, my guy. My guy.
You can't even save him.
Keep in mind, this is a game where they're missing both their right and left tackle already. Like, he is getting plenty of action of hits if that's what he needed. A little bit of, the smelling salts, if you will, right? You get your clock cleaned a little bit. This guy's lowering his shoulder on a run, Mike. It's not even to go in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Tua is scaring the... I feel like that was all I needed to see to know that his decision-making today and the problems were just going to come. 3 picks. The right tackle and left tackle being out, though, for this team is honestly, Mike, it can't be understated how important I think that the offensive line can be for teams. But for this team, especially with trying to get the ball, and a guy like Tua, it's all about timing. And this was just they ate them up, man.
I don't want to be that guy either, but I think all 3 picks came after he went head first for that first down earlier in the game.
Yep. I mean, he definitely didn't take a blow to the head. He got lucky. He got shoulder, and he got cracked though. But
that head kind of
literally
snapped.
all it is impact to the ground, right? Just because it didn't come impact to the head. Who knows? All I know is that he was on a tear, and now goes for 196, a touchdown, and 3 of those interceptions.
That last interception too wasn't all him. It was a little bit underthrown, but Tyreek literally had it in his hands. You're like, what a catch, what a catch. And then Stingley just ripped that fucker right out of there.
He's like, nah, we're good,
game.
man. We are good.
He called the game.
Listen, this was a game right here that you should have seen coming a mile away. The get right. We're friends again.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Mike, what in the hell? This is the wide receiver position this year, and not only this year. It just the diva in this has to be just insane for this stuff to be going on midseason when you're 11-2, bro.
Yes,
I mean,
but maybe it's a good thing, man. Maybe Brandon Graham being on radio shows and everybody talking about it. Jalen Hurts had, for fantasy purposes, had been completely fine the last couple weeks because he scores rushing touchdowns.
Right,
he's a Konami quarterback. You look at the passing stats, I think last week, what was it, 100 yards? Like 108 yards or whatever?
He's getting 118, like nothing, you know?
So maybe this is what they needed to be a more complete offense, right? Like against Pittsburgh, we're probably not going to be able to run Saquon Barkley for 160 yards.
Sure.
We should figure out how to throw the ball. I would say they figured out how to throw the ball today. Like whatever the fuck they worked on this week.
Smitty Tutty, right?
Smitty 8, A.J. Brown 8, Jalen Hurts looked fantastic throwing the ball. The offensive line was like, fuck it, we're pass blocking, even with Lane Johnson in and out. You know, Landon Dickerson on the sideline, Tyler Steen in at guard. Didn't matter.
Yep. So
much so they blocked T.J. Watt so well he hurt his foot. And that didn't look very fun for him either. He didn't look like he was having a very good time.
No, but 8 for 110 and a touchdown for Brown. Jalen Hurts, 290 and 2 touchdowns. You know, I think especially though this game, the narrative almost also fits. Like, I don't want to act like the Steelers can't be beat on the ground, but I think they're a team that you saw today. Like, they're probably better to be had through the air than they are on the ground. And not saying that Saquon couldn't have carved them up that way, but this is a meaningful game this late in the year where you want to stay healthy, to your point about Watt, and you want to start establishing your will and dominance in games like this, big time games. And listen, the Eagles did that, man. The Eagles did that today. Najee, I can tell you this, Mike. I sat him everywhere. I wanted zero part of him. I wanted zero part of this rushing offense. I wanted zero part of this offense in general for the Steelers. And that would be one part I was correct on. I guess unless you had Calvin Austin in best ball or just Pat Freiermuth falling in the end zone, everything is yikes, dude. Everything was yikes today for the Pittsburgh offense. No holograms. Done. Fuck them.
The Eagles, from an NFL standpoint, listen, last year at this time, Fizz was like, I fucking told you. I told you they played a cupcake schedule and they were going to be dog shit.
Asset trending way down. Now they're going the other way.
They are, man. I mean, you got wins now against the Steelers and the Ravens, 2 number 1 seed contenders in the AFC.
AFC North football is typically physical too, and they outmanned them both games.
And this is coming off of beating the living shit out of the Rams on the road just a few weeks back. So
I feel like the Rams are a little bit fraudulent. Not that it's not a good win, but the Ravens and the Steelers wins, to your point, are solid. They were both at home though, right? Or no?
Yeah, they beat the Ravens at Baltimore.
At Baltimore, that's right. And then this was at home. I mean, listen, quality wins all the way around. So,
hey, and for fantasy playoff schedule for the Eagles, Commanders next week in the semis. Dallas. Now, Dallas defense just showed out, so we'll see how that goes.
Albeit versus the lowly Panthers.
The Commanders have shown to be had. Like the fucking Jake Hayner, Spencer Rattler, Kendre Miller, Marquez Valdez-Scantling led Saints almost beat them today.
Yeah, I mean, Saquon doesn't deserve this fire. It's just he's been so good. Honestly, his stats probably in PPR aren't all that much different from Derrick Henry's, frankly. He caught, I think, only 2 balls. So
only 2.
Maybe a little bit better. But
I also have 2 balls.
To your point, though, I think the reason this one didn't need quite as bad of an ice is he put a lot of teams on ice this week. Saquon, for fantasy purposes, been that boy. So
that guy, right? Most teams with Saquon weren't playing this week.
Yeah,
just say that.
I'll tell you what, man. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the Lions and the Bills game. So obviously, this was a highly anticipated game, and I guess we'll put some players up from the game that we can discuss or not discuss. what is your take here?
Hey, Sam Laporta. Shout out to my oldest daughter, too. She's in a fantasy league. She really wants to win.
Okay.
She had David Njoku in her lineup the other day. I said, I don't think he's playing. Went to the waivers because it's only like a fucking
Sammy Ball
league.
game?
Sammy Ball game, just chilling on the waivers.
Dude.
Big Sammy Ball game.
Sammy Ball game had himself a ball game. It's been few and far between this year. 7
It has.
for 111.
It also took a massive shootout game and Jared Goff throwing for 500 yards for this to happen, but fuck it.
This game going for almost 50 on each side. Dude, when we were starting this stream, there was like 8 minutes left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this game was a lot of stoppages for incomplete passes or touchdowns.
You know how they love to like score touchdown and then go to commercial break and run a bunch of commercials and then come back, do the kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they're assholes and they'll do the kickoff and then go to another commercial, like whatever the fuck they want. I imagine with all the scoring in this fucking game, they ran out of commercials there. So at the end, you were probably getting a pretty good viewer experience. Like, we keep it rolling, fucking go. We're out.
Yeah. I mean, to your point though, like this was a gift because Laporta was tough. He's been scary all year. But this was a huge delivery for your Sammy Laporta lineup players. Mike, again, these 4 o'clock games, there's not enough time to render something, but Monty would be the poster child today, Mike. The poster child of the ice shatter. Good gracious, Mike. 42 points from the Detroit Lions. He doesn't catch sorry, scratch that. He caught 4 passes, which amounted for all of his fantasy success because 5 carries for 4 yards. I don't do a lot of math, but I know that one doesn't sound like a good ratio. I think it's under a yard a carry.
0.8. There you go. I'll do it for you.
Jared Goff had 2 for 13.
That's 6.5.
Buddy, Monty hurt you today. I'm sorry.
Yep. I mean, he was the Cooper Kupp of running backs.
Oh, that's bad.
That's harsh, right?
That's pretty harsh. How about Amon-Ra back in a, oh my goodness, way. 14. Remember last week we were talking about 14 targets? 14 catches. A $193 and a touchdown.
Where we were discussing his place and could you move him down in Dynasty ranks?
He heard.
Hold my beer. Dude, he even ran away from people on that touchdown, too, that he had.
60-yarder?
Ran away from people.
Yeah. The crazy part is they scored 42 points on offense, and you know that locker room and is just
pissed.
Oh, dude. They're having – Campbell is a madman, but I know that week is going to suck. That week's going to suck.
Yeah. They were getting – taken to them pretty handily.
Dude, some of their coaches were getting pretty animated with players on the side too. Pretty
I would too. They forgot how to play defense entirely.
They got cooked. Gibbs he salvaged a day with a touchdown. He did have though on the ground salvaged a day with a touchdown because he also had 5 for 83 and a
touchdown through
the air. There you go. That, my friend, is quite a bit different than the one number 5 David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs delivered today.
Almost 30 fantasy points.
It was. I needed it in a matchup in a big way, and he cave it for me,
And if I'm not mistaken, almost all them points came after halftime too, because by like halftime he hadn't really done anything.
Dude, it was almost the end of the first quarter. He had nothing. I was like, "What the hell is going on? Are we doing a David Montgomery game again? Don't do this to me,"
He reminds everyone why when I say that Bijan is good, I'll still take Jahmyr Gibbs because he's stupid explosive. He can do that in a half.
He's on fire.
He is him. All right, so Josh Allen last week, runaway MVP winner, right? Lamar this week put himself back in with the early game. You're like, All right, especially with what Lamar did early in the season, he's back, baby. We're going to have a hell of a race here to the end.
Yeah, I think Saquon.
Nah, we good.
I think Saquon needs to have a really good finish now to get back in the conversation.
Yeah, he needs like 3 straight 200 and some yard games.
He needs that Rams game again for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's already a quarterback award. Like, I still think Josh Allen's leading, but just because it was the Giants, and I love how all these fire holograms are just like, listen, we're blacking out afterwards.
That's what happens when you burn for so long.
You burning that midnight oil, man. Let me ask you this. For the Bills, Keon Coleman caught a pass, a couple,
Like one. Only one.
Well, he caught another, but it didn't count as a catch.
Didn't count.
Yep. So we give him it was a big pass though, 64 yards. People were excited for that, and that was all he did. Listen, there's a hologram that's going to get used again here, buddy. This is Ty fucking Johnson.
Ty Johnson,
114 yards through the air. This guy's a wide receiver. Nightmare. He doesn't even get carries. What the hell's going on here?
He got two. He got 2 carries today.
It's just, what are we doing here? Nightmare. What are we doing here?
He's a matchup nightmare. He's a mismatch. You can't cover him out of the backfield.
Dude.
They love using him. This is 2 weeks in a row where it's like Ty Johnson's a focal point of the passing
game. They do love using him now. These last 2 weeks, they didn't use him at all prior to this, really. I remember there was one time I saw him on the field. I'm like, get him out of there. He's like
a Giovanni Bernard on the Bills.
Oh, my gosh.
You like that pull?
I mean, I like the Geo pull. I just don't like it for Ty Johnson, no.
Okay.
At all. Is this real? Is this gift something we can believe in? Honestly,
probably not. I'm gonna err on the side of caution because I want to say like league winner Ty Johnson.
No,
but I just got this sneaking suspicion it's gonna break my fucking heart, But I'm only gonna pick him up in best ball leagues, Adam. And if he scores 0, who gives a fuck? Oh well.
Yep.
I'm gonna go trade for him.
Let's hit this.
Somebody to take a 4th.
Let's hit this Colts Broncos game and we'll bail. People will have big games to get to, and Khalil Shakir, Mike. I made sure. So let me get it here. All right, I made sure to bring the Khalil this time. I had to re-render it. I don't know what the fuck happened to the first one, but kind of like you. After what happened prior, we're not going to make the same mistake twice. All right, so let's put him on the damn screen. It's going to take a minute because I got all these other ones up, but here he is.
There we go.
Shakir, Mike, this guy is a household name now. I mean,
yeah, I started him in playoffs. Let's go.
Was that a rushing touchdown?
No,
wasn't. Okay, I saw the tail end of it. It looked like it might have been. Was a pass? Was it a quick like screen?
We'll just find Khalil Shakir. That was the play call. It was
get it to 10. All right, fair enough.
Let's get it 10.
I mean, he did nothing outside of the TD though, right?
I mean, he got a lot of targets. They were all just short, like real like Amon-Ra St. Brown from a few weeks ago when it wasn't really cooking for Amon-Ra.
I didn't see I didn't see some of the 4 o'clock final stat lines. I was trying to get all this stuff set up. He finished with did he get 50 yards even?
No, I think he was under 40.
So the
39.
Oh, so the touchdown definitely helped save the day. I mean, that was good. Dalton Kincaid. Listen, I'm not pulling the hologram up, but he did something. I mean, like literally did something. He has been a ghost this year.
Yeah, that was a lot of people's tight end one.
How about Amari Cooper?
Who? Is he still playing?
Dude, just think about this. 14. Remember we were talking about 14 targets leading the week last week. This guy, let me check again. Not on the stat sheet.
Can you say, is this something about wide receivers we used to once love who wear number 18 who go to new teams that just turn out to be cooked? Is he going to get suspended?
I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is, you imagine if you like dug deep one more time because you're like, all right, last week the targets were coming. Let me put my faith in this guy again, buddy. This is actually Cooper Kupp like because that's they both were zeros.
Bad.
Dude, there was
Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs touchdown.
Josh Jacobs touchdown.
Yeah, I got Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown.
Nice job. I shout out T-Rock, that motherfucker. I got an offer sitting there. I'm ready to take. I'm thinking about. I go to take it, Mike, and I'm thinking, did dude pull it? Nope. T-Rock. That son of a
T-Rock swooped in.
Yeah, 13 minutes. 13 minutes. You got me by 13 minutes. That son of a bitch.
How about that for an offer?
I like it. I will offer you another. Care for another?
I'll take one. Lakeside Cherry tonight, by the way, boys.
What did you think of Lakeside Cherry? Nice. Wait, was that Leinenkugels?
Yeah, duh. Come on.
Love
it's
it.
Midwest.
Love it.
And I'm not poor, so I don't drink Busch Light.
Really? I would have figured you forgot it would. You just drink whatever they put in front of you. No?
That too, but
okay.
I just like to flex that I'm not.
I don't have to drink Busch Light. I like,
but I don't have to drink Busch. I'm not a roofer.
Yeah. Listen, Rich today had the rushing touchdown early, and then 17 for 38, 2 picks.
It was another rough fucking day for Rich.
Dude, I saw going into this game, he has the lowest for a season, the lowest completion percentage of all time, and this probably doesn't help matters. Actually, 17 for 38 might increase it. It was like below 50. So
no, that's still less than 50.
I mean, well, I'm saying this is potentially higher than his entire seasons. That's how bad his season has been.
He's pretty piss poor.
Yeah.
What a bad. Man, I keep
the Broncos ended up waxing the shit out of these dudes. Matter of fact, you know what I need to do? That reminds me. See, sometimes with these offers, Mike, I got to pull an offer right now.
You want to know how fucking bad this is?
I need to pull an offer right now that I have on the table.
Anthony Richardson was objectively horrible today.
Well, he started off with a bang, rushing that touchdown, and you're like, okay. And then, dude, it got really ugly.
But he was objectively horrible. He still scored more fantasy points than Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, Kyler Murray, Russ, Matt Stafford, Tua, and Brock Purdy.
For sure. I think at this point, though, he's not Will Levis, he's not Bryce, but he's not far off as far as longevity.
He's got one more year.
They're going to give him next year, but I'm just saying,
yep.
I was just hoping. Honestly, I was hoping to see a little bit more, not consistency, but just he still hasn't put together a game through the air that was like, all right, you kind of feel really good about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's had moments. He's had moments where it's looked like that. He's had throws where it's looked like that, but complete games, honestly, hasn't even been a thing. So Jonathan Taylor though goes 22 for 107 and
cost people games.
I mean, just buddy,
drop the fucking ball at the one, please.
Drop that ball. Wow. Drops that ball. I saw it. This game was so pedestrian for what could have been greatness, right? For Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. I don't like that. I don't like it.
Hey, Schumer was in here though. Schumer lock of the week. Broncos -4. Hit again.
Called it.
He called it.
Damn it, Schumer. Well done. Money. You rat bastard, you. Jonathan Taylor, you son of a bitch. Bo Nix was.
Again, there's not another Denver running back that I give a fuck about. That Jaleel McLaughlin thing, that was fun in the offseason. He's terrible. Javonte Williams is terrible, and Audric Estime is super fucking terrible. Cortland Sutton salvaged his day with a touchdown. That's it.
So did Adam Troutman. A-Warp tight end.
And something called a Nate Adkins.
Just no.
Nope.
I'm not putting a single hologram up for the Broncos. No one deserves it.
Nope. And Adonai Mitchell threw a pick 6.
You know what's crazy, dude? Is that
actually I'm pretty sure it went as lateral, so I don't see it in the stat book. But come on,
that's his pick 6. Don't fucking play, dude.
You should have given the pick 6.
Well, the worst part is because if that stat counts as an interception, Mike, that's 6 interceptions between the two teams today.
I don't know why. Fucking stat keeper, man. I wanted to see it. Count that fucker as a pick 6.
The crazy part is in a game where A-Rich kind of really, really, really struggled. Let me not even try to sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix arguably struggled just as much. He scored 3 touchdowns. But, dude, 3 picks, only 130 passing yards.
Yeah.
This game was, again, one that was really gross. They scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, too. It really just kind of finish the job, if you will. Mike, that's all I have today. Any final thoughts Where you? How are you feeling about your teams?
I think I'm on the lineup. I haven't really checked best ball in depth, but I was just keeping in tabs on my lineup leagues because those were all the start-sit decisions. You know what I mean?
Right, 100%.
Like the ones where they kick you in the teeth, like I made the wrong one. I'm winning all of them.
The lineup leagues where you're playing, when I'm playing this week, I had 2 ones that I was really focusing on. I don't have as many lineup leagues as I do best ball, same as you. So
right,
2 lineup leagues where I didn't have a bye, and I'm like, all right, sweating decisions, you know. As I told you, I fucked up Brian Thomas pretty bad.
I had 4 lineup leagues playing in round 1. I'm
Nice.
gonna win 3 of them pretty handily.
Okay. Damn. I have one where I should win. I'm projected to win by 30, but honestly, it wasn't supposed to be that close. I'm going to win both of these matchups where I'm in the quarters. So we're looking good.
Yeah, I'm probably definitely losing this one because Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta kind of went the fuck off. But
yeah, that Mike Evans game, that Mike Evans game was what brought Sir Goose back. By the way, get this. This is a funny one. His team name currently right now is Sorry Adam. So I had to play him last week. I was almost at a bye, right? He's like, I need you to do me a favor. He's kind of kidding around. I need you to do me a favor. Just don't play anybody. I need this win because he was trying to get in the playoffs. He got lucky because I waxed his ass, and he still snuck in because the other person in 7 lost too. So just keep that same team name, and I'll go ahead and double down on this. Wax that ass one more time. Appreciate you, Goose. I know you couldn't figure out how to check in on a plane, and I'll make sure you know how to check out of the fantasy football playoffs, my friend.
Love it, man. No, not bad. Out of 4 playoff teams for lineups, 3 of them moving on. So I'll take that. We'll go check and we'll see what the damage is on the best ball. Maybe this other lineup league will get lucky. I just need Jordan Love and Christian Watson to have massive games.
Love it. I
don't think it's going to happen, though, buddy.
No. Well, Mike, it's been real. It's been fun. I hope you guys won all your matchups except for the ones you play against me. We hope we're doing you solid at the recap and start sit in the morning. Make sure you're checking those out. If you're still in the playoffs, make sure you check out start sit. Got a panel full of shitheads, we'll call it, okay?
Yeah, we do.
That are ready to answer thou and thy questions. Make sure you tap into those. Other than that, Mike, that's all I got. Anything else?
Yeah, if you happen to be in the Canton, Ohio area and you own a giant school that's also been renovated into an Airbnb and you're looking to rent it out for the
Holla at
week,
us.
holla at us.
Let a player know. We are looking for a big house, a big something. It's looking like a big L, but
we could probably do a barn.
Like
a lot of these
100% we could do a barn.
They do well at a barn, eating out of a trough.
It was kind of like we had like a really nice barn the very first year. Remember that?
Yeah, we did. We actually did have a barn.
But
wedding barn.
Yeah, we got wedding pictures too. Pretty cool. More like prom pictures, but pretty sweet.
Got me flowers.
We love you guys. We'll see you back here, same time, same place next week. If you're in the playoffs, you don't have to be in the playoffs. You can watch us, but I'm gonna be in them things, and better come correct if you want a dub. We'll see you then. We're out of this thing. Peace.
Peace.